Well, the job I do in the bookshop is also saving people through books. So I'm saving people both ways. So yeah, you can say that. Well, my history with books. Growing up, I grew up around lots of reading. My grandparents, mostly my granddad, used to read a lot. He had this pile of newspapers in the sitting room. He had a special chair.
Yeah.
And so the newspaper was always on the right, like a whole pile. I think if I was like 5 years old, the pile would probably be higher than my height and all of that. So I always observed him read. Every morning, there was this guy who would come and drop a fresh newspaper for him, So I used to join him to read. I used to read cartoon sections in the newspaper.
Okay.
And also my mom started to buy me storybooks, all these children's storybooks, Jack and the Beanstalk, Cinderella, and so much. So I used to just read them and like literally devour them because there wasn't really so much to do. I was an indoor kind of child. I grew up indoors, so it was either cartoons and books. So I dabbled. But at some point, interestingly, I stopped reading.
Okay.
I stopped reading, so I think those were my teenage years. I stopped reading, and it really had an effect on my academics as well. So I wasn't really interested. I was more like the movie person now. When people say I don't read books, I rather do the movie. I was telling myself that. And so it got to a point when I got into the university, I had these roommates that used to read so much. We're about 6 in the room or so. And they used to like take turns reading book. And one day I said, what the heck? Let me try. So I went to the school library. We had a fellowship in school then. So there was a library in the fellowship. So I picked up a book. I can't even remember the name. So that was how nonchalant I was. I wanted to just give it a try. So I tried, I think it was a Joyce Meyer book. Yeah. So I brought it to the room and everybody was like, since when did you start reading? Right? And so I tried, I think I read only chapter 1 and I dropped the book and my roommate took over from it. And after that, someone came for a follow-up to find out, because we used to have librarians then in fellowship. So they would come and, check up on you. How far, what did you learn from the book? Was it interesting? Is there something else you would like to read and all of that? So when she came, I couldn't give her anything because I hadn't read the book. And so I said to myself, because we're about to go on holidays, so I said to myself, I think I can do better. Like, I know I can do better. And so I took some novels from my roommate. I think I took a Karen Kingsbury novel. I took a Ben Carson book. And then I think I later did a Francine River novel. And for me, that was just where the fire lit with novels. And I loved it. Like, I would literally be... At night, they would take the light and I would put on my phone touch and be reading. It was a transformation. I tell you, I went from this girl who didn't like to read books anymore to someone who loved books now. And I didn't just love them. I decided to advocate them as well. So, because I knew that it was very impactful. Reading is something that I think everybody should try.
Okay. With all this being said,